Hello and welcome to horse racing. Again, we're looking back at yesterday's racing, which was Saturday the 9th of March 2024. Everything that I have done on here has been proofed to YouTube before the event. So I just want to show you our graph here. We only started this on Thursday. So Thursday we proofed Lingfield and Newcastle. Friday it was just Newcastle, and yesterday we had Sandown, Chelmsford and Wolverhampton. Now there was 40 bets that we could have struck here, and if you look down in the bottom right hand corner you can see that there's a profit of £390.62 on a £50 stake. So the stake would have been £2,000 near enough, and you can see the returns and everything down the bottom here. And as I say, the profit from Thursday till Saturday is £390.62 to £50 stakes per race. So I just want to take you back into the racing yesterday. We started at Wolverhampton here. I did think should have been a ring, was going to be a good thing there, but I don't ever rely on just one race. Don't just get stuck into trying to do one or two. You need to go through the whole card. So 9/10 did manage to get home there. Our stake was £50. Our returns was only 17 and we lost 33. Remember, the stakes are to get £100 back, and we managed that on the first two selections, but the third selection you can't go over £50 in stakes. So where we had laid out £44.55 on the first two, the third one we could only put £5.45, and the price was short when a favourite, and that was 9/10. So we did manage to claw a little bit back there, but we did lose £33 on that race. Moving into the second race, this was another one for the favourite, and again, didn't really fancy it that much. We had 6 running for us, and we couldn't even manage to get the second, but we did slightly have a little tiny bit on Kingdom Come, and the reason for that is that we had already laid out £46.49, and it only left us £3.51. So again, the stakes here on this race was £50. The returns was £14.84, and it was our second loss out of 2 races, £35.16. We managed to lose there. Then we moved into the 350. We had 4 selections here, but again, it was our 4th selection that managed to win, and we could only have £22.39 on Siempre Arturo, and we had 3 running for us at full money to get 100 back. Don't forget, this is a Dutching system, so even if you have a winner at 20-1, it's going to be evens, because you're not betting one horse in a race here. In this case, you're betting 3 at evens and 1 there with the remaining stake. So in this race, £50 was staked, £70 and 8 pence returned. So we did show a profit of £20 and 8 pence, but we are trying to claw back 35 losses in the last race and 33 in the first race. Moving on to the 4th race, yet again it was our 3rd selection, but we couldn't get Boasty in because we'd already staked £50 on the top 2 here. Now this, what I've got highlighted in orange, just means in this column here I've got 6.53. This was my price, and it did return bigger, so to me that was going to be some kind of value bet. But again, a straight loss in this race of £50. Moving into race 5. We did have a lot of horses running for us here. We had 6, and the odd money was put on Nebworth just to get our money back. So the winner here was Feros. We had this. It was our 3rd selection. And maybe you could have had the forecast with Nebworth. That was another one we backed, and Bosch was 3rd. But Feros gives us a profit of £50 here, because it was one of our ones that were running for us out of 6. So returned £100 for a £50 stake. So that gets us back in it. Then into the next race. A big upset here. The odds-on favourite gets beaten into 3rd place. But our top selection, Q's Likely, returns at 19.22 on Betfair SP. We only needed a slight small stake on this one, but we didn't have the price as we were betting it on its own, only at even money, because we covered it with the favourite, which was our 2nd selection. But again, we made a profit of £50 in that race. So a good priced winner there if you are trying to just back top selections. Then in our 7th race, this was a no betting race, and the reason for that, we have horses that are unraced. I don't like touching races like this, to be honest. So that's a straight no bet. And in the last race, we get out of trouble now. Conte Partiro has won. It was 1.83 Betfair SP. The maximum we can lay out was £50 in one race, so that was all we could put on that horse. We staked £50, we returned 91.50, and the profit was 41.50. So if we just go back into this yesterday, where it started really, really badly, we ended up there showing a profit of £43.42 at Wolverhampton. Wasn't great, but remember, there isn't just one meeting per day. Then we go into Chelmsford, our first race here. We had 2 selections running for us, and the odd £22.7 went on the favourite Twilight Quest, which was our 3rd selection. But here we didn't have the winner, which was Optic. We did come 2nd, and maybe with a better run, Calcutta Dream could have actually won that race. But there was a 15p rule 4 in it, but that wouldn't concern us because we didn't have the winner. Moving into race 2 at Chelmsford, Sea Ice was our selection. Again, I've highlighted it. It was a value bet in that race. And Sea Ice and Bluestone was our 2 selections. And with our odd money, we just put that on a 3rd selection of Super Fluidity. But Sea Ice returned us £100, which was £50 profit. So we've got our money back that we lost in the first race at Chelmsford. Moving on to race 3. This was another race where we had an odds-on favourite. This was So Obsessed. I went for 10 o'clock, which we had the majority of our money on, and what we had left we put on So Obsessed. They were the only 2 horses we bet in that race, but 10 o'clock finished last, didn't run well at all, and the stakes £50 returns 43.44 and a loss of £6.56 in that race. Then we moved on to the 7 o'clock. The Defiant went off a short price favourite here on Betfair around 13-8. And again, this hosed up, coming in nicely. But our £50 that we staked was all lost. So that was another race that the bookies taken money off us. Then we moved into the 7:30. Now we have Vitaline here that came home in front. This would have been our full selection, just under the ones that we've backed. So again, that was another loser for us. That was the 7:30. The 8 o'clock was also another loser. We did slightly have Smart Deal. This was our last selection, but with only £3.26 on it at 4.3, didn't really help us. And the stakes there, £50, returned £14 and a penny, and a loss of 35.99. But in the last race, we just got back in there with Once a Day. This was our top selection, and we put a stake of £50, and our return would have been 100. So looking back at Chelmsford yesterday, it wasn't a good meeting for us. We lost £72.55 at Chelmsford, so a bit hard to take that. But again, this is the long haul. This isn't over just a period of a day or two. And then after that meeting, we did it live so you could hear the commentary. I've got the videos out on YouTube for that. We took the first race there at Sandown with spiced rum. Again, I make that a value bet. So with our bets that we did there, we staked 50, returned 100, and our profit was £50. That was the first race at Sandown. Then we moved into the second race here, the 150. Champagne Twist was the winner. We had 6 running for us here. The 7th one wouldn't have paid anything. So that was one of our top selections. And of course, if you've done the forecast there, they paid very nicely with Pick Rock second. So again, stakes £50, returns £100, and profit of £50. So that's the first 2 winners at Sandown. Moving into race 3, this was the Imperial Cup, big race of the day there, and Go Dante was your winner. This was our second selection, and again the stakes were £50, returns 100, and another £50 profit. And possible again with the full selection here, you could have had the forecast with Favour. So 3 winners on the trot at Sandown. Then we go into the 4th race where Honky Tonk Highway was the winner, but you can see there's a no bet here. It was unraced. It had running point to point, but it was unraced on rules. So that would have been a no bet for us there. Moving into the 3:35, another winner for us, Scarface, and again was a value bet. Stakes of £50, returns of 100, and the 4th profit of £50 on the trot at Sandown. So as we go into their penultimate race, now it's time to give them some money back. Rose of Arcadia always seems to be the next one under where you finish betting. So Rose of Arcadia came through there. We did have 5 running for us and that small one there. Again, stakes of 50. This time the returns was nil and we had lost £50. And into the last race at Sandown, S Perfecto was a short price favourite here. Went up around 6 to 5 on Betfair. So the majority of our money went on that. Very disappointing again, finished last. And Jet Plane was a value bet, but I didn't fancy it, to be honest. It was my bottom selection. And again, our stakes of £50, returns nothing, and a loss of 50. So as I go back in and look at Sandown yesterday, you can see that we did profit there £100. So with our profit of 100 there, our profit at Wolverhampton of 43.42, and our loss of £72 at Chelmsford means in them 3 meetings we still come out over £70 in profit. And on the Friday, the only meeting we did was Newcastle. This profited us 116.83. Thursday at Newcastle the day before was an awful day. This cost us £97.08. So that was a minus. And at Lingfield, we went through the card, 6 winners from 6 betting races, which give us a profit of £300. So, over that short period from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, our profit lays at £390.62. And I hope you all had a good day on the Saturday. And now we need to move on to racing Sunday. So I will put another video out. I'm going to do Southall first. This is the all-weather meeting and an evening card or a twilight card, whatever you want to call that. And I'll be back later on with the selections in those races. But thanks for watching again, and we'll post another video later on.